Be honest. Have you ever felt low-key irritated with your partner for no real reason? Like, even the way that they chew suddenly gets on your nerves. If so, you may be dealing with resentment. And the tricky thing about resentment is that it often hides beneath the surface until one day everything about them feels frustrating and your relationship begins to erode. Today, we're breaking down 5 hidden signs that you might be resenting your partner, and more importantly, how to fix it before it becomes a bigger problem. Before we get started though, hey, I'm Aly, licensed marriage and family therapist and head of relationships at Paired, the app that helps couples stay in love. It's a life-changing app and you can get it in the description below. So let's talk about resentment. Resentment typically creeps into relationships gradually, settling into the small moments that you barely notice, and then all of a sudden the things that once felt neutral or even endearing start to grate on you. Resentment is like that junk drawer in your kitchen. At first you toss in little things, a forgotten thank you, a dismissed opinion, a broken promise, not a huge deal, right? But over time, that drawer gets jammed with unresolved frustrations, and eventually it won't even close, and then when you try and open it, all the junk spills out, or the drawer itself breaks. There's only one way to fix it. Empty it, sort through the mess, and decide what needs addressing, discarding, or reorganizing. Otherwise, the clutter builds until it bursts at the worst moment. Research from the Gottman Institute shows that unresolved resentment or contempt is one of the biggest predictors of divorce. And why is that? Well, because when resentment goes unchecked, it turns into emotional distance, passive aggressiveness, and eventually disconnection. When we're communicating from this position of resentment, we often assume a kind of moral superiority over our partner, and this can lead to a few behaviors that you may be all too familiar with, like eye-rolling, scoffing, or even outright ridiculing. But here's the good news. Once you spot resentment, you can fix it. Let's dive into the 5 subtle signs you might be resenting your partner and what to do about each one. Number 1, you keep score. Do you ever catch yourself mentally tracking everything that you're doing versus what your partner does? Maybe you notice that you're the one who's always handling the chores or making the plans or, worst of all, initiating the tough conversations. Instead of feeling appreciative when they finally step up, you think, ugh, it's about time. That's a sign of resentment creeping in. Here's what to do. Resentment thrives on imbalance. Instead of keeping score, have a conversation about redistributing responsibilities. Make sure to use I statements like, I feel overwhelmed handling all the household planning. Can we figure out a way to better share this? Studies show that couples who actively discuss workload balance experience higher relationship satisfaction. If you want to know more about sharing the mental load, you can check out this video on the Paired channel to get started on this important conversation with your partner. Number 2, you forget to do things for them. You used to put their laundry away and plan date nights every month, but over time you realized that they weren't reciprocating and often didn't even say thank you. Now you forget, thinking, why should I do this for them if they don't do it for me? This is often a subconscious way of withdrawing care without direct confrontation. Let's talk about how to turn this around. Ask yourself, have I communicated what I'm feeling to my partner? If not, is it fair or right of me to let my resentment grow? Sometimes we pull away because we don't feel appreciated, but we actually haven't tried communicating that. Instead, let your partner know how you're feeling and then try small, intentional reconnection gestures. Not because you should, but because small moments of kindness reignite closeness and make conversations about deeper issues easier. Number 3, you find yourself comparing your partner to others. Have you ever caught yourself saying, wow, Jake from work really knows how to plan a date? Or, I love how Lisa's husband always helps without being asked. It's totally normal to notice good qualities in others, but if you find yourself excessively comparing your partner, that's often a sign of unmet needs. You're highlighting what you feel is missing in your own relationship. When partners idealize others, satisfaction in their own relationship declines. Instead of letting those comparisons build resentment, try shifting the focus. What do I actually want more of in my own relationship? Then communicate that without making it a competition. Actually communicate your unmet needs and focus on finding solutions that work for both of you. I love it when we plan things together. Can we make an effort to schedule more date nights? Direct conversation builds connection. Comparisons don't. Number 4, your inside jokes and teasing have a mean edge. Jokes that once felt playful now carry a sting. Maybe your teasing has turned into subtle digs, or their jokes about you feel more like criticism than fun banter. Taylor Swift once called it being casually cruel in the name of being honest. If you consider yourself a kind person, but find yourself telling mean jokes, it's time to check your resentment levels. Here's how to turn this around. Joking should bring you closer, not push you apart. If humor is starting to feel like a weapon, it's time for a reset. When you find that saucy joke on the tip of your tongue, take a deep breath and issue a compliment instead. Or when your partner makes a comment about you that you would normally reply to with a snarky outburst, work on letting it go instead of feeding unhelpful flames. Number 5, you feel a little satisfaction when they're struggling. Ever feel a twinge of satisfaction when your partner forgets something or struggles with a task that you usually take care of? That little, see, now you know how it feels moment is a clear sign of resentment. This happens because deep down, you've been wanting to be seen and appreciated for all of the mental, physical, and emotional effort that you put in when you complete that same task. You've been feeling taken for granted, and now when you see them struggle, it's like a, now you have to experience what I've been experiencing moment. Let's break this cycle with a new approach. Instead of waiting for them to learn a lesson, initiate a conversation. Say something like, I know I usually handle this, but I'd love for us to share this responsibility more evenly. What do you think? Then remember, be patient and supportive when they struggle. They're not going to do it just like you the first time. Criticism will erode connection, so keep those thoughts to yourself and bring your feelings up in a productive way before the resentment builds. Resentment doesn't happen overnight. It builds in small ways over time. So if you only remember 5 things from this video, let them be these. Stop keeping score. Focus on balance, not competition. Notice when you withdraw. Small gestures can reignite connection. Catch yourself comparing. Instead of idealizing others, communicate what you need. Keep your teasing playful. Jokes should bring you closer, not push you apart. Address resentment before it builds. The conversations that you have now prevent bigger issues later. And remember, resentment doesn't mean that your relationship is doomed. It just means that something needs attention. The key is noticing it early and having honest conversations before it turns into full-blown emotional disconnection. Now let's talk. Have you ever caught yourself keeping score in your relationship? Drop a comment below and let's chat about it. And if you need help starting these conversations, the Paired app has expert-backed prompts and tools designed to strengthen communication. Check it out in the link below. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more relationship insights, and I'll see you in the next one.